What is up, everyone? Aaron here, coming at you with some commentary about my second ever orienteering race.
31.
This
Oh,
is the
31.
yellow course. So this course is a bit easier than the orange course, and it was actually pretty simple. The difference between the easier courses and the harder courses are distance, and all these controls, which is this right here, are going to be right on the trails. So the harder courses, they're more in the forest. You'll have to search for them a little bit harder. But these ones are right on the trails, so it makes it pretty simple for all ages, all types of people. A lot of people are just walking out there with their families. A lot of people are just hanging out in the park for a good day. There was only a handful of people that were actually running it, and they usually are running the harder courses anyways. So you're given a map, and here's what the map looks like. I just chucked in at point 1, and now I'm going to point 2. I can get there any way that I want. Like I could run any direction, any how I want, but I have to do them in order. So for this trail and this yellow race, it's most likely that you're going to stay on trails the whole time. You won't have to go off trails. If you check out my other video, the orange race, there was a couple parts where I would go through the forest because I thought that was faster than going way around on the trails. So here we are. I'm going up. I'm looking for number 2, and at each one of these is a control, which has a little flag and a little marker that I have this punch in my finger. You'll see my finger possibly touch this marker, this control, and that's making sure it's recording where I'm at what time, to make sure I do them in order. So I come up here. On top of each of the markers, there's a number corresponding with the number on my map. So it says number 2, but it's actually numbered like 45. So I know that I'm at number 45, and I punch it, and I move on to the next one. And so you can see me here running, and you could go way around on the road, but the faster thing for sure is to go straight through this field. And so what do? Run straight through the field and get my socks full of seeds and pokies, which was not fun for the rest of the run. But you know what? That's what you have to do to dominate. And that's what I'm here to do, dominate. Even though I was mostly running against little kids, and they were actually walking with their families. So you know what? I'll take the dub. So you can see on the map that it's next to these 3 trees. So I'm running towards the trees, and then I can see the flag or the control, and I double check to make sure I'm at the right one, because I don't want to go out of order. And then I'm off to the next one. Now with this race, because everything is on the trails and it's not super hard navigating or actually orienteering, I didn't really use my compass at all. I have a compass on my thumb, on my left thumb where I'm holding my map, but I didn't have to use it much because I'm more looking at like landmarks and roads and trails and seeing where they go and make sure I follow them, more than like, oh, this is to the north of me and stuff. Where I had to do that a little bit more with orange course, and I'm guessing you have to do even more with the harder courses. There was 5 different courses out there. This was the second easiest. The orange was the middle, and then there was 2 even harder than that. So I can tell that I'm now headed towards the corner of this parking lot area. You can see the road colors marked certain colors, so you know you're on a road. The black dashes are trails. The light tan is, like open field or high grass maybe, but it's easy to get through. It's not super like bushy or anything like that. But then you can see the green up at the top here. Those are like blackberry bushes and pretty thick.
Okay.
And the darker the green is, the darker it is, the harder it is to get through. So that green area is pretty like challenging to run through, so you probably wouldn't want to run through that. And so with, again, this course, you're just staying on this trail, and I can tell I'm probably just running on this trail all the way up to the corner. And also on my map, there is a little key. It shows like, okay, you're headed to number 5. There's a control number on there, so a random number like 47, and that will be on the control marker, number 47, so I know I'm at the right one. But also, it'll have a description of where they are located at. So it will show it's at like the connecting point of 2 trails. And on the easier routes, it actually says that, like it has the words showing you that. On the harder runs, it just shows you a symbol. It'll show you like the symbol for a trail and where they're converging. So you don't know exactly where it is. It could also say like a tree on the south side of the tree. So you know it's somewhere in that circle, but then you would have to find the specific tree and see it's on the south side of that tree and try to find it. So again, this yellow marker is pretty easy to find because again, they're just on the trails. So coming around this corner, double checking and make sure I'm in the right spot and I know where I'm headed next. And you can also see that there are these people in this orange and a bunch of kids here. There was a bunch of like scouts, right? Like scouts and troops together. And they were learning how to use their compass and their map. And so that was pretty cool to see that they're out there. They were just kind of walking it from place to place. They weren't running it at all. So now I know, okay, I'm probably going to follow this trail all the way up to number 6.
Coming on your left, move over.
Oh. Howdy.
An energetic.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you used to be like this.
There you go.
Oh, I hope I didn't miss it.
After running for a while, I kind of thought I maybe had missed it because I was worried about distances. I'm still trying to figure out how far it takes to run certain distances on the map, like what that translates to actually running, but I could tell that there was a trail up here and finally found it. And got my mark and then knew I needed to head back into the camp area, back into the park. So I took this trail, ran it back in, looking for the next one.
Howdy.
Here we come up to number 8, and at this time I'm getting pretty tired.
7.
Again, this is my second run, and I'm
Look at that.
trying to run it pretty hard just to practice. And there's not that many races throughout the year. There's like one a month, and I'm gonna miss a couple of them. So I really wanted to just test out how well I could do for my second time ever. First time ever really doing this. And so now I'm back on the trail, making sure I follow the right path. Here I come up to this kind of T, and I find my control, make sure it's the right number, make sure I'm at the right spot. And then I get a little turned around. I want to make sure that I'm going up the right trail, and which in this case is the left trail, the correct trail. So I'm just double checking because I don't want to run like I did on my other race. Go check that out, the orange course, where I totally messed up. So just making sure I'm going the right way, because that will save a lot of time than going the wrong way for a couple minutes or something.
Howdy. You need help or you good?
I'm good.
Okay, perfect.
Now here's my probably biggest mistake on this run. I kind of, for some reason, thought that the 10 and the marker that I was going to was 1 I had ran to on the last round on my first race. And so I knew I needed to, or I thought I needed to cut through this brush here because I didn't want to go all the way around and make it to this other side. So I get over to where I thought it was. Because as you can tell, there's a bunch of different controls. So there's like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 of these controls, all in this like general area. So as you can see, I'm looking at the map, I look at the control, and it's definitely the wrong number. Right, so I'm supposed to be at 71, and that says 84 or something. So I know I'm in the right area, but I'm at the wrong spot. And so I then have to figure out where I'm at and move to the other one, the correct control. And as you can see, this was the trail I was running on. I should have just kept staying on that trail, and it would have been right there. But that's what I get for trying to do my own thing and be smart when I should have just followed what the trail was. So again, another mistake, and I guess I'm learning, and I got to read the map better, which if you know me, I'm really bad at doing. I'm not great at reading maps. And yet I'm out in the forest trying to read a map and not get lost.
Howdy. Howdy.
2 more down this trail.
Thank you.
1 dips into the pond, don't forget.
Perfect. Oops, sorry. Excuse me. Thank you.
I think this is my second to last control. And it was kind of funny, that group right there in front of me, they were in a bit of a discussion about which way to go. And so as a group, it's kind of funny to hear them trying to figure out which way to go and who takes charge and stuff. So it's good because you can have multiple people looking at the map and making sure you're going the right way, but also you all have to pick one way to go. So as I'm running here, I pretty much knew that this was the same spot I had ran earlier. And so I knew this one was right next to the river and that my race was coming over. I was definitely tired and hot at this point. And there is my last control, which is always cool because the race is pretty much over. I'm headed back to the start-finish line, which I can see up in the distance, and there's some flags and stuff. It's kind of cool to see everyone out there. There's, again, 5 different courses, so people are running in all different directions. And it was a really good time. I had a lot of fun. And again, like I said, there was lots of people with different skill levels or different goals. Most people were just out there hiking around in the forest having a good time. I had a great one out there. Definitely signing up for the next ones. Probably do maybe a harder course next time, but there we go. There's the finish one, and I did it in 21 minutes and 46 seconds. Thanks for joining me, and make sure you check out some of my other videos.